Hey College Success, welcome to week 5 of the summer semester. So we are now officially halfway through our course. You all are hanging in there and doing an awesome job. We only have a few weeks left to go at this point. So let's jump right in. In the lessons folder, we are now going to be in week 5, which is going to cover chapters 7 and 8. So here is your snapshot as always to let you know what's coming up. This video right here will just focus on the chapter 7 assignments, and then another video will focus on chapter 8. But just as a general reminder, this is a normal week, so you have 2 discussion forums to post in. So you want to make sure you post in both the chapter 7 and the chapter 8 by Wednesday for your weekly attendance. I know this week is like a holiday, kind of in the middle of the week, so just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. But if you're celebrating or have the day off or whatever the case might be, that our week is still kind of operating as normal in terms of attendance being due on Wednesday. All right, so make sure if you have not already done so, you spend some time in the week 5 videos over the chapter 7 lecture and the chapter 8 lecture so that you have a basis of understanding for all the assignments that are coming up connected to those chapters. So I'm going to go ahead and hop in the assignment folder. There's that self-reflection survey. Again, that's just for you to kind of check in, see where you are with some of the concepts from the chapter. So our chapter 7 discussion, you want to post in your chapter 7 and 8 by Wednesday for weekly attendance. Chapter 7 talks about different types of thinking, creative thinking, critical thinking, analytical, decision making, all of those different things that are important, not only as students, but just as people. So the prompt is, some people say creativity is the realm of children, meaning children are creative. Children are imaginative, and then as we become adults, sometimes we lose some of that creativity, or we lose some of our ability to imagine, or we don't get swept away as much as children do. So can you think of how a child's curiosity and willingness to explore may help you understand a college discipline that is unfamiliar to you now? So for instance, as a child, and I can speak, I have 3 kids, they are constantly asking me questions. They want to know everything. They want to go out and do things on their own. They want to explore. They're not always afraid of taking risks because they want to learn things. So kind of think of all those things and maybe go back to your own childhood, or as you observe your own children or grandchildren or nieces or nephews or whoever it might be in your life. Think of that, and how can taking that type of curiosity and that type of behavior help you toward maybe a difficult course or a course that you're not familiar with. Could you be asking more questions? Could you be taking more risks? Could you be trying different approaches, thinking outside the box? So think of it in that way. That's your prompt. So again, around 150 words by Wednesday for attendance, and then respond to 2 classmates. Remember, a response is more than just good job or I agree. You build on it a little bit, or compare, or ask a question, or follow up, just like you would in a classroom setting, kind of interact. The assignment, what would bugs do, is going to open up into a PDF that you can type in. I kind of like this one a lot, to be honest. It's a creative thinking one again. So it says, read this little scenario. Your institution has cut funding to the library, tutoring, and wellness centers, effective immediately. You know very well that you and your fellow students' success will suffer because you will not be able to access these services. What would you do? So kind of think through what you would do in your own head. And then this has all of these different characters. So some of them are fictional, obviously, like Bugs Bunny, Harry Potter, and then the rest of these are people who have done something, that left their mark. So, Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates, MLK Jr., Mother Teresa, Jay-Z, Malala. So if you're not familiar with any of them, you can totally Google them. It's okay to look them up and just get a little familiar with what they've done, maybe what kind of field they're in. We've got people who are philanthropists on here, who are human rights activists, musicians. So look through and see what they've done if you're not familiar, and think about what they would do. How would they behave in this situation? What kind of solutions would they pose? Would Jay-Z write a song? Would Bill Gates donate money? Would Bugs come up with a scheme? So think about what they would do. Then, of those solutions, which is the most realistic? Odds are it's not going to be Harry Potter or Bugs Bunny, but they might be one of the most exciting. So it's just a creative thinking. And again, when you're done, you want to make sure you come up here and you save it with your changes so that it does not get lost. And then click in your assignment and make sure that you upload your file right there. All right, and then of course your quiz for the week. Chapter 7 quiz. This is going to go through different types of thinking again. Open-mindedness is a characteristic of creative thinking. Do you think you're open-minded? Do you find that being open-minded depends on the subject matter? And then when have you had to be open-minded or question your open-mindedness? In the chapter, there's a quote from Mark Twain who says, "There's no such thing as a new idea. Do you agree or disagree, and why?" And use some examples to support your opinion. Question 3, this semester, have you tried doing anything in a different way than you've done in the past? Now, we're only a few weeks in, and summer semester is quick, so maybe you can rely on maybe a spring semester if you need to. How do you feel about doing something differently? If you've tried to do something differently, what was the outcome? Are you sticking with the new method or going to your old way? So it's kind of thinking about if you're willing to do things a little differently. Question 4, when was the last time you had to use clear and logical thinking to resolve a conflict? And if you don't work anywhere, or maybe you can't think of one, maybe think of like at school or with your own family even. And then question 5, we talk about metacognition in this chapter. So when did you first become aware of your thinking about your thinking? When would you start questioning your thinking, and has that evolved over time, and just your experience and thoughts with metacognition? And then of course, save that and submit that. Alright, so those are your chapter 7 assignments. I will be back with your chapter 8. Bye.